welcome and thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Anne Divine and this is the chat room. This is a platform where we discuss health, wellness for a fruitful and balanced life. And on today's video, I want us to talk about distraction. Distraction. Most of us spend our days distracted from the important things of life, or distracting ourselves. Actually, we actually do intentionally distract ourselves from the actual things. And sometimes you distract yourself from the pain, you distract yourself from the idleness. And I understand sometimes you have to do it, but where do you find the healthy balance between spending the rest of your year distracting yourself from doing the fruitful and the work that is required for you to put in, so that you can achieve or live an actually fruitful life on a daily basis? So the reason I tackle distraction is because we don't realize how addicted we become to getting distracted, to a point where you can't do without your distraction. And distraction is not necessarily a bad thing, but the negatives of distraction come in when you actually get addicted to distraction. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about that. And to start with, we are going to see what is the most negative thing. That is the worst thing that distraction does to you, or to your life, or to your productivity. So addiction to distraction is the death of the creative production. So this happens when you're actually distracted. Your creativity doesn't, you are actually not able to regenerate your mind in such a fresh way to to produce something new, or something useful, because you're doing the same thing over and over. And if you don't do that thing, you get anxiety, you get uneasy, and you don't know how to move on. So let's see some of the things that we do to actually distract ourselves so that we do not deal with the real issues. For instance, most of us, some people who don't have a job, and you have no other thing like to get online. So I actually do have a list of some few things here that we do that we use as distraction. So one of them is mindless surfing online. Some people, it's shopping online, working too much, drinking too much, eating too much, complaining too much, sleeping too much. All those are things we do to distract ourselves. Some people think they work so hard because you leave at 4 and you come back at 10 p.m. Sometimes it might be a sign that you're distracting yourself from something. What are you running from? What are you not exactly ready to deal with? Because we said for you to have a productive life is that you have the balance. And that balance comes when you have the 8 dimensions. So if you actually don't tackle all the 8 dimensions regularly, that means there's something you're distracting yourself from. Maybe you're doing too good in one area, but you're terribly failing in another area. So those signs, if you are, and one of the most common is surfing online. Most of us spend there, and I know it can be addictive. Sometimes it takes intentional. You decide intentionally, you know what, I'm not. You put the phone away, or you decide to go without your phone, because it's addictive, and you can find yourself spending a lot of time online. So how do we deal with this? Is to intentionally plan your day. How do you plan your day when you don't have control of all of your day? Because if you're employed, you don't know what will happen, what your boss is gonna say. But you can plan your night, plan your rest well, plan ahead. That way you will, and that give you a lot of motivation to be able to stay focused. Stay focused and not get distracted. So when you have a balanced life, you are able to avoid distraction. Distraction is a common way people use to avoid the pain and anguish of unexpressed potential. As we betray our true power, a part of us starts to die. Imagine that's what distraction does. So if you actually get, you actually distract yourself so regularly, so you don't get to address your unexplained potential. If you spend your time online, surfing online, you don't get to create something. Maybe you're an artist, you don't even have the time to make music. There's a lot of good music out there, but you do have a potential to make some extremely good or unique music. But of course, you're spending your time listening to others people music. When are you ever gonna create your music? And we actually talked about garbage in, garbage out. So if you take garbage in, garbage in, garbage in, where do you find your best self? The only thing you'll be able to bring out is what you've been taking. You will not have the originality. That's why you hear a lot of artists will be copying. Oh, this song is copied. Oh, the beats are not original and all this. No, it's good to be in a productive space. I actually do love people who write books. And I was reading Michelle Obama's Becoming, and there's a place they said that Obama had to take 5 months away from his family, his wife. Imagine 5 months to go write a book. The first book, I think it's The Dreams of My Father. So he took 5 months. You take away the distraction. Sometimes you need that as a human, as a woman, as a person. You need to be able to take a break and a breather. Come up with something. You know, when you're distracted, it affects, by actually, there's something that's been going on with YouTubers. People on YouTube have been saying, I'm in a creative block where you actually are not. I love that. You cannot be in a creative path where you are distracted. You have to actually focus so much on yourself and your productivity for you not to be on a creative block. So distraction are a big, 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 big part of why we are distracted. Another point that I would like to finish with is just little bits of what I think and I make, and I'm hoping maybe 10 years from now I'll watch these videos and realize, you know what, they made sense then. Just the way Facebook sometimes bring you memories, and you're like, wow, I did that, I wrote that. It's a good way to also save them. So every time you become aware of yourself dropping into victim mode and make a more courageous choice, you rewrite the narrative, you raise your self-identity, elevate your self-respect, and enrich your self-confidence. Each time you vote for your superior self, you starve your weaker side and you feed your inherent power. I love the way people say there are always two of you, and you can choose to feed the monster or the good part of you. I like that. So each time you vote for your superior self, you starve your weaker side and you feed your inherent power. If you do this with consistency, your capitalization IQ is your ability to materialize your gift, to be able to grow or actualize. It is the ability. Your capitalization IQ is your ability to actualize your potential so that you will grow in this life. So thank you so much for listening to me. That it's like a podcast. Distractions are a big, 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 big part of our lives, and it's good to be able to learn that distraction do actually affect your productivity, and when you affect they affect your creativity, and when your creativity is affected, your productivity is affected, and when your productivity is affected, your growth is affected, and when your growth is affected, what does that mean? Well, actually, you're walking dead actually. So it's good to be able to grow even when it doesn't feel like it's time to grow, because even through the pain, even through the out of season and in of season, there are things that happen that should be able to should help you make a growth process in your life. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Andy Vine, and this is the chat room, and we will continue to do this until we find something more to do. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Like the video too and subscribe.